All right, good morning, guys. It is 5:27 and we're going to talk about marriage. Yeah, pretty early. Um, but I like to get up early and get the day started, and nothing is better than a quiet morning. So, I started recording this video last night, but I was too tired and brain dead to make any progress. So we're trying again now, early morning. And I have some notes, but to preface the conversation, I wanted to say that at work, I had a coworker ask me about marriage. We just got to talking about what marriage means, because it became obvious that between the both of us, it meant something different. We had different views on marriage. So, for those of you who don't know, I recently got married. Meg and I got married this past June, and we have been together about 5 years. And getting married was something that we always were open about and wanted to do. So we both planned it, we set that goal together, and we made it a reality. Okay, so I wanted to talk through some points that I have written down here. Things that come to mind when I'm thinking about marriage. And in no particular order. These things are qualities, contributions, and they mean something different to everybody. So it's important that we recognize that much, because everybody has different accumulated experiences. Everybody has different beliefs and values, even though many of us or the people in your circle may be very similar to you. It's important to recognize that there is no one way, there is no right way. There is only the way that you feel is best for you. And without a doubt, you should pursue that. This video is meant to make you think. It's meant to present my point of view and share a little bit about why I'm 25 and married. Okay, so in no particular order, how you see the world plays a big part in whether or not you get married. Your family history, experiences that you have had, your internal compass or truth, your religion, fears, values. And I also wrote unpredictability, although that's something a little bit different. So I want to start with values. Values are belief systems that we have as people come to carry out. We've come to live certain values. Maybe it's integrity. Maybe it's maybe it's serving. Maybe it's a belief about the world that you interact with by doing something, by believing something. A value could be a religious value. It could be some sort of like almost karma related value. Like you believe if you do good in the world, that good things will happen to you. A value could also be something that you learn from other generations or other people, and you adopt yourself because you, at the time, believe that that value suits you. And I think it's best to keep it at that definition for now. But values for me that influenced my decision to get married were A, I believed and believe still that marriage is one of, if not the most ultimate form of commitment to someone. And then a value might also be that if you believe in monogamy, which refers to spending your life with one person, exclusively one person, and the definition definitely goes a little deeper, but for this video, I'm going to leave it at that. Then marriage represents the most straightforward commitment that you can make to a person. A person. You're going to spend your life devoted to one person. And so let's build on that a little bit, because spending your life devoted to one person obviously isn't simple or easy. So why did I choose that? Have you ever heard that saying that if you go a mile wide but an inch deep, you don't really know anything? My conclusion about life and people is very much that it is better, more effective to have a inch wide and a mile deep, because having less people, less like a lesser quantity of friends and close people in your life, however, those people representing a massive depth of commitment, knowledge, and familiarity with you, I believe that that is what life is all about. Getting to know other people, specifically your partner, in a way that only they can possess, only they can do. And that only happens with time, with accumulated time spent with that person, getting to know that person. So when it comes down to values, for me, it was about what I believed was right for me and what I wanted out of life. I think being with a person and committed to this person is, on the surface, a very big and potentially scary thing. But once you break it down, you realize that it's actually a path to freedom, because the more this person knows and supports you, hopefully the more they kind of light the path for you to your best life. The term independent codependent comes to mind. I heard that saying somewhere, independently codependent. It might have been from a Jordan Peterson talk or something, but the point being that in a marriage, you are codependent as a family unit, as two people who lean on each other for emotional support, for any kind of support, really. But at the same time, supporting implies that you must also support each other's independent ventures, because you're not the same person. And marriage does not imply that you are to become the same person. In fact, that notion that you are to become one is an old model of marriage, an old model that includes basically the preset values of marriage, meaning maybe the man provides, the woman stays home. Very simply put, like, the outdated model of marriage is not what I'm functioning off of. And I did a lot of studying to determine what I wanted my marriage to be like. And I continue to do that. I think that is a must do part of any relationship. Study to be better. Study to know more. You don't know what you don't know. And that is one of the reasons that marriage fails. If you're functioning on the same exact set of operating rules that you had in the first year of your relationship with this person, it is unfair to both believe, unfair to yourself, to believe that you are still that person, because you're denying the years of growth that have happened between then and now. So it's unfair to yourself. It's also unfair to your partner, who has grown as well. And if you are married but not acting as a codependent unit, then it's likely the marriage will grow, obviously age. If it continues to be, it will age while sort of becoming something other than what you originally intended it to be. If you're not planning it actively and playing an active role in your marriage, then the marriage will become something that you didn't intend. I wanted to add the note about unpredictability. I think that that unpredictability is a big part of love. If you think about marriage, you should think about love. For the sake of this video, we're going to keep it in the maybe the Western world definition of marriage, which could be something related to love. And I'm not going to go any deeper on that specific definition, because it's clear that love is not the only reason to get married, especially not everywhere in the world. And it's not fair of me to call it one thing when it's not that one thing. But unpredictability certainly is related to love. We have a hard time as humans, who are emotional beings, predicting when we're going to fall in love and what that will lead us to. But it does present us with choices. And I'm a big believer that when you say yes to one thing, you say no to another, and vice versa. And that is the law of energy. You can't be in two places at once, or at least conscious in two places at once. So you have to choose. And when you say no to marriage, you may say yes to something else, but you may also be saying no to a future that includes the person who you want in your life now, when in reality you didn't prioritize you didn't consider the long-term sort of ripple effect of your decisions. You might acquire what you wished you had or wanted to achieve. However, down the line, you've already said no to marriage, and you then might be annoyed, we'll just put it like that, annoyed with yourself for not choosing to prioritize a marriage when the things that you achieved could have been achieved cooperatively with the person, your partner. But you've already said no to that. And so I know that we learn from mistakes, and if we're doing it right, we learn from mistakes, and we make a lot of mistakes. And no one's perfect. But it is realistic to expect that with the most knowledge and information available to us, the most access to other people, that we can develop a very intelligent approach to relationships and to marriage. And that unpredictability is okay. It's a good thing. It's a good thing in a world where we want control over everything. Quickly, I'll touch on some of the other things. Religion may influence your approach to marriage. For me, it did not. I'm not an active practicing religious person at the moment. I'm open to that changing, but it didn't influence my decision to get married. Internal compass and truth. This is related to values, but you may, if you're listening, realize that there are some things which you feel right about and other things that you don't feel good about. Good and bad, right and wrong. It's really more of a feeling that we try to put words to, but we shouldn't, I think, put words to, because it doesn't do it justice. An internal truth is something that only you know, only you can tell. And for me, I knew in my bones, in my body, that marriage was right for me. And if there's a question, then you need to sort out that question, or give it the time to come to the surface and really see it through, and ask of yourself enough that you can figure it out, that you can be at peace with yourself. Your family history and experiences. So these are kind of a combination. Family history, obviously, you could have a lot of marriage in your family, or you could have very little. And I think this is going to influence your views on marriage mostly because as children we learn, and we are always learning, although I think arguably adults prioritize other things, which is a different video, but I think that's a mistake. And we have the responsibility as in a marriage to continue learning. Arguably, it's more important. But our family history teaches us, because we learn from what other people do. We see good examples, bad examples, and a whole range of what's in between. We develop our own compass, our own scale, our own determination of what is good, bad, right, and wrong, and then somewhere the thing lies. The thing is what we want, the version of it that we want. And maybe we don't want. Maybe it's our version is maybe one of the extremes. Our version is to withdraw. Our version is to try a bunch of different things in there. And that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with trying a bunch of different things or withdrawing. But it comes back to the same inch wide, mile deep principle, which is to do something, you have to try. So you can't withdraw. If you're curious, you have to try. You have to be open to something happening for something to happen. And the other part is, if you try but then withdraw for fear of something, then you miss out on your opportunity to develop depth, to develop expertise, to develop this knowledge base that it represents that mile deep. Experiences you have had. Pretty simple, but maybe not at the same time, just because life is a accumulated bundle of experiences, and those experiences influence who we are. So it might be worth thinking about what experiences have shaped the way you're thinking today, just as a general question. Certainly one related to what you want to do with your life, if you want to commit it to someone else. And that kind of encompasses everything that I've been thinking about, guys. So the bottom line is, I'm a married man and I am a happy person. The happiest that I've ever been. And together I feel like we are greater. However, we are independently codependent. We are, at the end of the day, happy humans who share many of the same values, but who recognize the differences, and we recognize that those differences make us. They make us who we are. So we accept each other for all of those things that we don't quite get in the other person. And I think that that's beauty at its core. It's being okay with different things, and it's seeing different things, and it's appreciating different things, and it's calling different things beautiful, because stuff outside of yourself there's so much to see, there's so much to learn outside of yourself, and much of that is in other people. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that before I run out of space on the camera. And like, comment, subscribe for more videos. This is a surface view of marriage, and from my perspective, obviously, so please do your due diligence and leave your thoughts and comments below. I'd very much appreciate that. And I'm gonna go close on a house today, so wish me luck in that and I will see you guys all soon. Thank you. Take care.